If I was a guy, I wouldn't date a woman. It's scary.
If I was a guy, I'd be so scared to be in a relationship in America because they are willing to be traditional, but the women are not. And they get nothing in return for their money, their time, or their resources. And the girl ends up cheating or not willing to cook or make a sandwich, and it's just...
She gets everything.
I'm so happy I'm not a man because, you know, like, what the...
It's hard. Like, you can't win. It's like, it's just every... There's no... Women in America.
Black women's rules only apply to black men. White men get it for free, and that comes with no blonde wigs or weaves. Man, what the tenderism? Because you did not just have to cook like that. That's really some funny ass shit, because it's really funny to me how a lot of black women sit here like with this sense of entitlement, like they were just born with it. Like, don't nobody owe you shit. The only person that owe you something is yourself, and you owe yourself dignity and self-respect because you have none. You owe yourself some love because you don't even understand what it is, because why you don't love your you don't want to even take care of yourself. You want to live in this world learning how to live off of people. What type of man want a woman like that? Y'all have all these stipulations of what you won't do for these black men, but let it be a white man. Let it be a white man with some other money at that. Oh, you are going to conform immediately. Y'all gonna conform as quick as Brittany Renner went to be a Muslim with Kevin Gates. Y'all are going to conform just like Summer Walker did with that white man. You see, she do whatever the he asks. She is not finna up that situation because of that money. And because she hates black men and he's a white man. So of course, you know, she had her black ass baby daddies. Yeah, her black ass ex-boyfriends. So now she's conforming and you are following suit. Y'all took the Megan Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson situation to a whole new level. Y'all seen the fact that, oh, that is a light-skinned man and he just letting her still do her whole. Let me go find a man like that, because clearly she's not submitting to him because he's letting her do what the she want to do. Why? Because she's Meg Thee Stallion. Ain't no real man, let alone a real black man, finna allow you to do that. His life is already hard, and you going outside or just going on the internet portraying like that is already making it harder for him. He's fighting the world, and now you gotta fight social media too? Like, ain't no way. If it's a black man saying something, these black hate it. But let a white man say he want this and he want that and he want this and he want that and he got some money. Oh, gonna say, oh, anything for him. He can take care of me. He trying to move me into his house and he gonna pay all my and I don't gotta pay for nothing. And all I gotta do is cook and clean and go shopping on his dime. I feel like some of y'all parents shouldn't have told y'all that y'all was princesses and deserved the world, because a lot of you don't. As you see, there's only one black Disney princess. It's only one of us. There's only room for one. All of you are not princesses, especially black women. Y'all are not all queens. Y'all are not all princesses, because y'all act in this sense of entitlement and have not worked for a thing in your life. Maybe if you poured more into yourself instead of pouring more into your maybe these real men would see you. Maybe they would understand you. But no! They don't want to deal with you mother sucker harlots.
I'm sitting here sick and worried. And this man is sitting in this car. Really? 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 Seriously? Seriously?
Look, ladies, there is a reason why that man is sleeping in his car rather than going inside and relaxing after a full day of work. He most likely just finished a pretty stressful day at work, and now he's about to go into another stressful situation, which is at home. Unfortunately, you are part of that. You are stressing him out probably the minute he walks into that home, and his body knows that. That's why he's having a hard time walking through that door. So instead, he takes 10 or 15 minutes in his car alone just to help decompress. In this situation, that man, instead of going somewhere else and relaxing, he decided to play it safe and just pull into his driveway so that you weren't worried about where he was. With that, he got this reaction, which tells him the next time to maybe go somewhere else, or maybe just drive a loop around a few times.
The way that you have dealt with the women on station night, are you okay with somebody dealing with your daughter or your mother like that?
Yes. Y'all been on my show several times, and I tell her the real. Come over here and say some, I'm gonna check. That's the problem with women. That's why they end up being statistics. That's why they end up life, because nobody Nobody correct and the check's wrong when it's wrong. The fact of the matter is, you coming on a situation and talk about something, somebody might talk to you. There's consequences and repercussions for every action. And I teach all of my daughters that. I say, hey, you want to get pregnant? Don't think daddy's watching the damn kid. I didn't have mine. There are consequences and repercussions for your actions. My job as a father is to protect my child and teach my child the things that they need to watch out for becoming adults. So yes. That's your question. Thank you for the question.
Ask your question, Erica. Ask your question.
As you are two men with girlfriends, so you guys, your show is catering to your audience, which I totally understand because I'm not the person that I am on my show, right? But it's giving very misogynistic because the girls.
No, misogynistic is Jocelyn Hernandez calling you a in your face. She can do it.
Where y'all hoes at? Where y'all hoes at? Where y'all bitches at?
She can do it. It's saying you bitches ain't got nothing. Y'all sit there and dance for it.
Wipe your nose, this lady stupid. She's scared to come back, or I fire her.
That's misogynistic. Oh, so it's not misogynistic when Jocelyn do it. But if I tell you the truth about you, now I'm misogynistic. Oh, so she can call you a bitch, and I never called you out your name.
Look at the fly, won't even get away from you. You so even the fly's on you.
A fly?
Oh, she can call you out. She can disrespect you, but all I do is talk loud like a damn drill sergeant. Oh, it's misogynistic when I do it, but it's not misogynistic when she do. Okay.
Ugly money. This Thursday, Big Russ got Belly Gang Kush coming to the Southside Lounge. Lil Scrappy, Lil Zane, Big Belly Gang Cushington. This the introduction. Go ahead and text this number if you're trying to perform. And ladies, y'all free till 11:30. Y'all better pull up. It going to 3 a.m. I'm going to see y'all on the South Side. It's the introduction. Bounce that answer just like your friend do.
My dad said it seems like young men don't want to get married anymore, and I wanted to ask the internet why that might be. Like, I definitely have ideas of why it might be, but I'd rather hear from real people. It's also interesting that it coincides with that statistic that's been thrown around a lot lately, which is that 40% of women of marriageable age are going to be single by the year 2030. And what's interesting is it's by choice. Like, we're all choosing not to do this anymore. And I know that for a lot of women, myself included, there's a lot of hesitancy because we've been hurt and we're afraid. So I'm curious, what is it from the male perspective? Or do you think all of this is just like a consequence of the culture we live in now with like hookup culture and the internet? I don't know. Let me know what I should tell my dad. Thanks.
You will never catch me messing with a man who has a in his home, and I'm not even friends with them, and I recommend that other women avoid them as well. People who live in homes with are up to 10 times likelier to and twice as likely by homicide, with the risk for women elevated beyond that 2x. And this includes law enforcement, this includes hunters, this includes men who claim they need it for self-defense. I will not with them.
If you're with someone that you think if you get in an argument with them, they will blow your cat back, why are you with them? Forget the if you could get into an argument with someone that you're dating, right, or you're married to, and they can push you back, forget they will stab you. They will decapitate you at that point because you got into an argument. You know what I mean? Or do you think you would antagonize your partner so bad they would want to blow you away? Like, why would you be with someone that you think would even be capable of doing something like that? You know what I mean? She was like, more or whatever. My thing is this, right? Isn't what causes the. If someone was going to take their life, if they had a gun, that would be the quickest way to do it. But it's not the fact that they have a gun that they do it. It's because that's the quickest way. If they didn't have the weapon, they would probably just find another way to do it. Jump off a bridge, take a handful of something they're not supposed to take. That's not the determining factor of them taking their life. It's the fact that that would be the quickest. I don't know, man. This is kind of like ridiculous. But hey, man, if you don't want to date somebody that got weaponry in their house, fine, man. That's cool. But like, I mean,
97% of women that go to college are not wifeable. And before you get emotional, studies have shown college-educated women are significantly more likely to delay marriage and prioritize career over family compared to previous generations. Going to college means spending 4 years conditioning women to be workers, to show up, follow instructions, climb the ladder. But by the time she graduates, she's perfectly trained to listen to her male boss more than her own man at home. Within those 4 years, women are placed into environments that normalize hookup culture, drinking, partying, hyper-independence, the whole I never need a man mindset, and also just the feminism that her college friends operate from. And because women are highly influenced by their environment, both emotionally and socially, most women unfortunately become products and conditioning of that culture without even realizing it. Not every woman, but 97% of women do, because a woman's natural instinct is to follow. And that natural follower instinct for women isn't a bad thing if they actually follow the right things. And let's be honest, it's hard to beat 4 years of indoctrination. That's why finding a feminine, family-oriented, disciplined woman today feels really rare. But don't worry, they're out there, but she just probably won't have a degree. And make sure to follow for more common sense content.
A lot of these modern women, they want a man to die for them, but they're just not worth dying for. There's not a lot of stuff that modern women are exhibiting to men. And you can sit up here and say, how dare you say that? How dare you think that way? But that's what it is. Like, you guys don't seem to understand that men aren't messing around anymore. Y'all don't want to hear that, but men don't want to be bothered with you anymore. That's what men keep on telling you. Y'all keep on trying to make me do something that I don't want to do. You keep on trying to run me into something and be something that I don't want to be. That's not who I am. And I can understand you say, well, you need to be a better person, right? I understand that. I think most men understand that. Okay, my lady wants me to do this. She wants me to improve. My lady wants me to go here. She says I need to go to the doctor. I understand that from that perspective. I think most men do. But when you sit up here and what you're trying to do is essentially change the man to be who you want him to be, in terms of, okay, you like rom-coms like I do. You like going to these places like I do. You get wrapped up in every single thing that I get wrapped up in because you like me and you love me. And if you don't, if you're not a simp for me, that means giving me anything and everything. Man, I went into the store the other day, get my wife something for our anniversary, man. And the woman, she was like, so what did you decide to get? I can't even remember. It was some type of bag or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was. I don't know what it was called. I just remember, oh, this is what my wife likes. So I went and got it. And she was like, oh yeah, because she gets everything. I was like, well, she's done a lot of stuff for me, and she's been a huge help to me, and a lot of stuff. So yeah, man, I don't mind doing that. That's how a lot of men feel. If you are actually helping me out and doing things for me, I don't mind it. I don't mind going in there and some things I don't want to do, but doing it because why not? You help me out. That's fair. That's the way things go. But modern women are trying to get men in a position to where men are doing things for them and they don't have to give anything back.
Okay, papi, if you are a good man, bitches call you boring. If you don't go out to clubs, bitches call you boring. If you have a job, a car, and you are emotionally mature, bitches call you boring. If you don't drink, bitches call you boring. If you don't smoke, bitches call you boring. If you don't have a lot of friends, bitches call you boring. If you go to the gym, bitches call you boring. If you are smart, bitches call you boring. If you have hobbies and they're not basketball or football, bitches call you boring. If you have goals and you stay consistent, bitches call you boring. Wait a second, man. You telling me that if you are a hard-working man, driven, ambitious, family guy, don't cheat, don't do, call you boring? Coño, pero what the funny thing is that these are the same talking about, oh man, ain't. Of course, you made your choice. You chose the phone, man. Now look at you, heartbroken in therapy. That's tough. Now cry about it, ho. In conclusion, you're not boring. You're peaceful. The right woman appreciates peace, papi. So don't worry about these bitches, man. Keep making money, keep your peace, and keep building muscle, man. Being that said, congratulations, bitch. You passed the class. Fuck Fidel. And follow me for daily motivation, papi.
Yo, the entitlement and ego of these modern women is mental and unmatched.
This man, to enter my life, literally has to kiss the ground I walk on.
Fuck out of here.
Worship me, yearn me, give me my autonomy. You're gonna let me live my life, and you're gonna be happy for me, and you're gonna be my yes man, and you're gonna provide for me without making me feel like about it. If that doesn't ever happen, then I don't want to be with anyone.
These women just be saying the boldest, craziest shit I have ever heard. Work me, shorty, you ain't Jesus. What are you talking about? Give her autonomy. She wants to be able to have her cake, eat it too, thinks that she's the prize amongst all women, and she should just be able to do whatever she wants, and you can't tell it. Provide for her, meaning she don't gotta do And you notice when women say all this and say nothing of what they bring in exchange for all that. And think about this. No man she's ever been with thought she was worth this. She got banged out, dated, whole bunch of and now has come to the conclusion after so many failed relationships and experiences that she deserves that. She ain't a virgin. She's not pure. She's not nice. She speaks like she's insufferable as I mean, are you kidding me right now? These women will try to convince you they're worth all that and then will have the nerve to say you just get her in exchange. This, my attention. Get that out of here. This is what modern dating looks like in a nutshell. And women like this, that feel like this, that have the ego like this, these are just a few night stands waiting to happen, then kick them to the next. Because with chicks like this, it's just your turn, brother.
I just watched this whole video about this blue collar guy who works like 8-some-hour shifts, and then after he does Uber Eats to provide for him, his wife, his 4 kids, and the kid on the way. I could never be a man. And you're crying because he was so sweet. I could never be a man. It's too much pressure. You're expected to know everything.
Absolutely. As a woman, thank you for admitting this. Because this sort of truth is exactly what men need to hear. They need to know that they're appreciated. They need to know that they're not easily replaced. They need to know that the woman that they're doing it all for cannot just easily do it instead. And that's okay. It's actually a good thing to let go of your ego, ladies. Admit the strength in men because that actually makes them stronger.
Yeah, something my dad always used to say, and I used to do too, because I can take accountability for my own actions. The moment a bitch hears the truth, she don't hear. The moment she starts hearing that's the truth and it lines up with her, she don't want to hear the anymore. That's the reason why that video blew up, was because so many were mad, so many views on it, but the likes were mainly men. That's the problem right there. Y'all don't like the truth. And there's a very low percent of ladies in there that actually agreed with the fuck I was saying, because, you know, they listen. They put the 2 and 2 together. They realize I'm not talking about them. Because they're not hoes. Why are they going to get mad at what I'm saying about hoes, which is a whole different category than women? Why would y'all sit there and be in the comments and get mad for hoes if you're not a hoe? Why are you putting a label on yourself? Like, let's be for real. Like,
it's really women out here that's 40 years old, 41 years old, 42 years old, 43 and up. They 43, 40. It's women that's literally 35 and up.
Okay.
Literally out here saying, I'm looking for a man to spoil me. 40-year-old, 36, 38, 39, 40, 45-year-old women saying they looking for a man to spoil them.
Right.
Baby girl, you are spoiled. You spoiled already.
Right.
It's young right out here. It's young right out here. You talking about you want a nigga to spoil you. You already went spoil you, baby. If I'm going to spoil you something, I'm going to get some of these young right to spoil you that. You 45 years of spoiling already.
Mm-hmm.
What the... Like, at that age, you need to be looking for a man that you can build with. You need to be finding a man who you respect, who gonna take you serious and respect you and build with. Y'all still looking for princess treatment and y'all 50 years old. Phenomenal.
Y'all always doing that. Like, I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. Like, as a woman, see, look at your face. How it's all scrunched up. Like I'm about to say some dumb, right? That's exactly what we talking about. Y'all gotta stop saying that shit nutty.
Anytime a woman say, as a man, I already know she's gonna say some dumb, bro. I ain't never met a woman that said, as a man, and some smart shit came out, or some logical came out, or some make common sense. 99.9% of the time, if a woman say, as a man, you're gonna be followed up with some dumb being said. And then what make it worse though, the girl would say that, and her friends gonna co-sign the dumb. Now it's just the dumb, even the dumber. But then when you get with them one by one, like have a conversation one by one, they actually smart women. But collective, dumb as
I think it's a really raw deal for men that we are going to hold men to this masculine standard while we hold women to absolutely no standard whatsoever. It's 100% okay for even feminist or 50-50 equality women to say men should But it's clearly, whoa, the moment you say women should, now we're getting into sexism. Now we're getting into misogyny. But women, even equality feminist women, men should pay for dates. Men should be chivalrous. Men should protect me. Men's roles are static. Men have to up front be trad. But women get to reserve that until marriage. And even then, a lot of these married chicks, the married liberal chicks, they ain't doing that. I don't think it's going to go over very well, especially with more traditional leaning women, if men started to say, I'm not going to protect you, I'm not going to provide, I'm not going to pay for dates, I'm not going to even be masculine until we're married. That's not going to fly with women. But women can say, I'm not going to be submissive, we're going to be 50-50, I'm not going to cook, I'm not going to clean, you just want a mom. Maybe in marriage you'll get that, and it's still negotiable.
It's so many women that want high quality men and they want to be married and this is that and the third, right? Y'all ruin it. Y'all blow relationships with quality men because y'all don't know how to be in a faithful, committed relationship. Y'all don't know how to shut down the outside attention from men and just focus on one man. You're really keeping the doors open. You're really keeping your options open. You're not really having the time to bond with this man versus him. He's really trying to get to know you, right? He's really focused on only you. And men are really not that complicated. If they want you and they choose you, they're really going to focus on just you. It's like, yeah, y'all talking back and forth. Like, all of a sudden, your pattern changes. You ever just notice that when a female cheats, she don't just cheat and break up. She cheats and she leaves that relationship and goes on to another one because she's been cheating all along. If you want to know if your girl is cheating, tell her to turn off her social media.
You want to come and save you? I don't need a man. Yes, the you do. How you talk on a device created by a man saying that you don't need a man? Riding in a car that was probably made by a man, but you don't need a man. Living in a house built by men, but you don't need a man. Make it make sense. If your house caught on fire right now, who would you be expecting to come and save you? A firewoman? A firewoman? Huh? That's who you want to come save you? You want to come and save you? I didn't think so. Now, I understand feminism has warped a lot of youth's brains and things like that, but it wasn't just police officer. It was policeman, fireman, mailman, man. You need a man.
He's testing you. Are you passing? It's true. Women test men. But it's not because they're evil. It's because they're wired to screen for strength. So here's a few tests that you want to make sure you pass. She cancels plans last minute. She wants to see how much you value your time, or don't. She always takes hours to respond, even though you respond immediately. She wants to see if you'll match her energy. She mentions other guys around you. She wants to see if you'll get jealous or remain unfazed. She breaks little promises that she makes to you. She wants to see if you'll hold her accountable or let it slide. She goes a little cold after you show interest. She wants to see if you'll panic or hold your frame. Tired of failing tests you didn't even know were happening? Comment test and let me show you how to pass the test once and for all.
Like I said, these modern women, they'll sit up here and talk. They'll talk crazy to you, man. They're talking crazy to you, man. I want a man to kiss the ground that I walk on. This man got to do this for me. He got to do that for me. And a man is like, what do I get in return? And the answer is a lot of times nothing. You get nothing in return. Why would I be here if I get nothing in return? I mean, why does it make sense? Modern women, I don't know what they're listening to. I don't know who is telling them this stuff. I don't know why they think it makes sense. Because it doesn't. Why would I want to sit up here and do things for you and I don't get anything in return? Literally nothing. Literally nothing. Modern women are so stupid. It's so stupid. They don't even have the common decency to say, well, this is what you get with me. And if a man, I mean, when you go on a job interview, the least you could do is be like, okay, well, you get this. You know, well, I have this, that, like, you have like a few value, like you have like a value package that you give to them. Modern women, like, you get my attention. I mean, they're like, what else? So if a job was like, okay, you know, what can you do for us? Well, you know, you see my resume, I can do You know, I can do spreadsheets. I can do Power BI or some other financial stuff. You know, these are the things that I can do. Okay. What else? You know, what's your work ethic? What are you willing to do? Are you willing to stay overtime if need be? Those are the types of things that companies are asking for. And when companies ask this, to give you an example, modern women will go off and say, oh yeah, I can do this, and they leave it open-ended. Anything and more. I can do just anything, you just let me know. I'm flexible. But when it comes to a man, who by the way is paying for a very expensive dinner for you, you get my time and my energy, that should be enough.
To be with me, I should never, I feel like it should be so easy to be with somebody, and I don't need to be asked questions 24/7, like where you at, what you doing, like you should, I think it's sexy when a man is too busy to talk to me. Why do you want to call me 24/7? Why are you texting me 24/7?
Translating. All the babies out here. Oh, why? Why can't I text my girl every second? I'm telling you, homies, you will lose a butterfly if you chase it too long. You build a garden, homie, and they're gonna come right to you. You understand that? You cannot be texting a girl all day. You know what I mean? She got a point, homie. You know what I mean? These chicks don't want a guy without a purpose. These chicks out here do not want a man without a mission, without some type of vision. You know what I mean? You sit and show her that you have nothing. You ain't got no goals. You ain't doing that are this productive. You don't have a productive lifestyle. What kind of chick is gonna want to stick around, homie? A chick just wants to walk into a life that's worth walking into. Well, this guy's on it. This guy's on his grind. This guy's got a vision. This guy goes to the gym. He's productive. He does the shit he needs to do. That's attractive. They find that attractive, bro. That's cool as all right, well, you know what? I can't hang out, you know, this day, because I got business meetings. I gotta work on my company. I gotta do. Your purpose comes before everything, dog.
Why is it easier for women to get laid more than guys?
Women have been through more in their life, and they are, you know what? If they want to do it, they want to do it. And it is what it is.
That's why it's easier for women to get laid more than men?
Cut that. I think that women have been through more. They've been through a lot. And I think women, honestly, are more hurt by guys whenever, like, let's say there's a breakup. Does that make sense? There's a breakup.
I'm not following you.
Okay, well, hold on.
I got this question. Number one, men have really high, like, testosterone or whatever, you know, going on in there, you know, blah, blah, blah. So do women, whatever. But the thing is, men are less mature than women until the age of 24, 25. Yeah, and it's a proven fact. Oh, you can look it on the internet. And I think that is because women are sometimes they want to have fun, and that's okay. If they want to go, like, do whatever, like, you know, that's okay. But, like, a guy, like, he's gonna be like, oh, like, you know, like, she wants to have because, you know, like, it's a guy, and they're gonna want to do that because their maturity level is down here versus a woman is up here. And it's also a mind game.
I say I'm a feminist. To me, it's just, I feel like women should have the choice to do what they want. The same as men. Like, men can choose whatever they wanted.
If we want to talk about choice, women didn't have to work. Men never had that choice throughout history. And I'd argue men, even in 2026, men can't realistically go out there in the dating market and be like, I want to be a stay-at-home husband. That will not fly with even liberal women. Liberal women who might have good career ambitions, their standard, even though they are feminists and believe in 50-50 equality, blah, blah, blah. Most women, even liberal progressive women, their standard's going to be, I want a guy who makes as much money as me or more. So there is never really a choice for men to want to actually step back and be more taking care of the household. That's a choice women have. Now, in terms of careers, you have to have a really strong understanding of what the world looked like 100, 200, 300 years ago. You have to remember 300 years ago, there wasn't air conditioning. There wasn't like lunch breaks and HR, and there wasn't
pregnancy leave.
No, that did not exist. 100 years ago, as a man, you go into the coal mines. This idea of like lacking of access to the workplace was physical. It was labor.
A woman's mental load is fake. It is a crock of. A woman's mental load is made up, and it is a crock of. It is a woman's anxieties that she's put upon herself, and she's taken on more responsibility, and she uses it to self-sacrifice herself as if she's doing more in the relationship to make you feel like. Most women will take on more and more responsibility without ever having to ask, and they will take on this responsibility as if they're some kind of mortar to the relationship, and the only way the relationship is working out is because she does it all. It's also made up so when she's ready to divorce your ass or needs an excuse to leave you, she has it on a silver platter with a laundry list of expectations and imaginary standards that you didn't even know about. So when she's ready to leave, she'll dump your ass. And it's all just one big manipulation tactic to use it against you later on for not doing enough in the relationship, even though it's all her made up anxieties in the first place. And what's crazy is that some of these women are so delusional is that they use this kind of mental load talk to pretend like they're like oppressed in their relationships because they're taking on too much of responsibilities. Like, so now you're oppressed and your husband or boyfriend is not doing enough because, let me guess, you're thinking about all of the responsibilities that you simply have to do it as an adult. You're resentful and angry about it. Like, can someone make that make sense? Somehow that's your husband's fault for taking on all this imaginary workload to make yourself feel like you're doing more in the relationship as a self-serving act just to use it against him later. As if that's not manipulative. And what's actually crazy is that men do struggle with mental load. This is the exact same mental load that men have, but guess what? Men are told to shut the up. They have no support, and they've been told to be quiet since birth. Okay, bye.
This might be a hot take, but I really don't care. I think women should start approaching men more, and I'm so serious. And I don't mean that in like a feminist equality type of way. I mean it in like a it's more efficient that way type of way. And anybody that knows me in real life knows that I be sharking dudes for real. Like, anytime I'm outside, I will pick and choose who I want to talk to, and I will walk right up to you and talk. And a lot of women think I'm crazy for that. And I am crazy. But there's also a method to my madness, you feel me? Because it's like, the way I see it, you have one of two options when you're outside, right? You could get approached by 5 different men that you probably wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. Or you could walk into a bar, look around the room, find the one that you find attractive, and walk straight up to him. Like, it just makes good business sense, you feel me? Time is money. And they never see it coming, because women don't typically do this, but these other minnows, I'm a shark.
Let me explain why dating is not a priority to me. If you've been following my journey, I haven't dated in over 20 years, and I'm over 45 years old. It's not that I'm scared of dating. I am scared of the process of dating. And just hear me out. I don't want to go through the process of buying an outfit, getting dressed up, meeting up for brunch, lunch, dinner, whatever. Small talk. What's your dislikes? What makes you click? What is your profession? What do you do for a living? What is your future goals? Just to get to the point where you find out we're not clicking. That is not clicking. Now, some of you probably realized in the first 5-10 minutes of the date that, yeah, this is not going to work out. When is it the best practice to end the date? How do you go about ending the date? You have to treat dating like it's a business. You got to spend money to make money. But I don't want to do that because that becomes draining and it becomes expensive. And then you got to do this all over again. That's why I say dating is not a priority to me. I know I have to date in order to meet my person. So it's like, bro, I'm going to start documenting my dates. I'm going to start doing it. I want God to just grab my person and drop them on my doorstep. Just say, here, this is it, wrapped in a bow. This is who I designed for you to be with. There you go. Why can't I skip to that stage? Perfect world. I get it. I'm just rambling. And you know me. When I ramble, I just talk. But this is why dating is not a priority to me. I have to be so sure that I want to get to know you before I waste my time, buy an outfit, look up places to go. It's not a priority. But I have to do it in order to meet my person. What am I doing? God, you got to make this easy for me.
A lot of women date guys who don't have as much as them because they can be lazy. They can mistreat a guy. They can do whatever they want to do. And they can be the person that they are, because they know that guy won't go anywhere because he can't go anywhere. And they do underhanded things to keep this guy locked in. They drain you so much with drama. They drain you so much with gaslighting and nitpicking so that you don't even have the energy to get anywhere else financially. You understand what I'm saying? And then also women, you know, a lot of the times the apartment being their name. And so every time you get into it, they kicking you out. They throwing you outside. They putting you out the car, all type of just damaging you emotionally. You see what I'm saying? And again, this one only goes for men who don't really have to together. That's why it's important that you have you together, you know, so you don't have to deal with like this.
Because that's honestly and truly what these modern women be doing. As a man, you need to be doing this. As a man, you need to be doing that. No, I'm not doing that. Modern women, and that's the problem that a lot of men are running into. Modern women, they feel like they know what a man is and what a man is supposed to be doing. And some of these things, to be honest with you and to be fair, they have, okay, I'll give you that. You're right on that. But then there's some things that modern women be talking about and you be like, no, that's not it. No, you're going to tell me this? No, that's not it. I'm telling you right now, that's not it. Men are not going to want to do that. But modern women think they know anything and everything about men because they've been listening to simps. And you know what? I can't even say simps because the men that they be listening to, they don't even be simps. It's just a bunch of Chad and Tyrones. Telling, oh man, if a man do this, da 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 da. No. Be realistic. Let's start putting ourselves in another man's shoes and saying, how would I feel if somebody did me this way? What would I be looking for? What are the things that I would want in a relationship? If I did something like this to somebody else, how would I feel? Please start asking that question instead of saying, well, you know, because a man's going to ask you, so, you know, how would you feel if I did this to you? Well, and they're going to ignore the question. Well, as a man, I would feel like this, and this. Are you going to, I didn't ask you to answer for me. I asked you as a human, if another human did this to you, how would you feel? Well, you know, and it'd take you probably 2 or 3 hours for them to finally say, you know what, if somebody did this to me, I would be mad at that. I would be upset. That's all I'm asking you. Don't tell me as a man what I'm supposed to be doing. I already know what I'm supposed to be doing as a man. I will welcome help. I will welcome help. I'm not perfect, but y'all get too far into this nonsense and you get too big for your britches and you step in somebody else's lane that you can't handle.
Until you understand that women are literally children, you're not going to do very well with women. If you are taking women seriously and you are engaging with her as if she is your equal, she's going to get with you. You're going to get cooked. This starts from a very young age. They learn that they can do anything and get away with anything because their father is likely castrated and not allowed to discipline her. They don't even learn right from wrong. For example, instead of taking accountability, a woman will cry, argue, turn red, faint, lose her keys, lose her purse, call her ex, call her mother, kick the dog, run away, get a flat tire, go to jail. She will do all of this before she says, you know what, I was wrong, I'm sorry. Because that would be maturity. And women, like I said, are literally children.
It is still quite a prevalent idea that women in their 30s who are dating are desperate. Like, just after writing the article, I saw the proof because the top comments on social media were, yeah, but you are hitting your biological clock, and like, yeah, but it is desperate and you are the leftovers. I don't know, I do just notice that even among like very like well-meaning people I know, if I say I'm going on loads of dates, people like just automatically assume that the men I'm meeting are these non-committal players and I'm kind of desperately trying to tie down one of them. And I just don't think they would do that if I was a man. I think they'd be like, yeah, fair enough, mate. You gotta play the field. You gotta see what's out there. You gotta be decisive and you know what you want and, you know, don't settle until you find it.
Quick question, genuine concern. Why are you in competition with the man? Men do men things, women do women things. Why are you in competition with a man? If a war breaks out, I want to go behind a man. I don't understand the competition. I don't understand the vindictiveness. I don't understand the get back. I don't understand trying to sabotage your exes and one up your friends. And do you know you'll never grow trying to be a victim? Like if you focused on being a woman, doing the things you need to do to be a better woman, and not trying to be a man or be in competition with the men, things will probably start to smooth out for you. I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm not. I just think that you should just focus on yourself and self-growth. But when you spend so much energy trying to hurt somebody else, baby, you're not gonna grow. It's not gonna happen. You gotta grow up.
The world would be a much better place if women shot their shot more. Now, granted, women do approach men. They do text first, right? But if they did it to the degree where they did that for every man that they've ever wanted, they would probably be in way more satisfactory relationships. Because a lot of what we see are relationships where somebody feels like they're settling. And when somebody feels like they're settling, they'll just start doing more. That just kills the relationship either way. Now, technically, women do shoot their shot, but they do it in their own weird little way. Aside from the direct, like texting somebody first or actually contacting one person first, they do it in those subtle ways where you would never guess. Like they look at you more than twice. They give you immense eye contact when you guys don't know each other. She puts herself in your vicinity, in your area, so she is available to talk to. She puts down her phone. She takes off her earbuds. It'd be indirect like that, right? We've all experienced the text first. We've all experienced the just hitting up first and those indirect signs. But if more women walked up to the men that they find attractive and they shot their shot, they would probably have a much happier dating life because they would be 100% they would be 90% from the field. I understand women do go up and approach men that they really want or that they find attractive, but they don't do it to the degree of men. If they did it more, I promise you they would have satisfactory results. The crazy thing is, women are so used to it, they see that as a normal interaction. If they were to do that to a man, that would make a man's year, that would make a man's life. He would remember that for the rest of their life. That's not something you just forget, because that is rare for a man to experience. Men will remember that regardless of what the woman looks like. There have been some women that have approached me that I did not find attractive, that were not my type, and there were some that I actually did like, that I did find attractive, but no matter what, I never forgot any of those experiences. Why? Because it is more rare for that to happen to a man in real life than anywhere else. You remember that for the rest of your life. Join the Discord. You guys have a great day, night, whenever you see this.
If your first reaction to hearing men are trash is not all men, not me, you are missing the forest for the trees.
Really? Do explain.
Now, either literally millions of women are lying about their experiences with men for no reason, or it's time to accept that there might be a problem with men.
Well, indeed. There is a problem out there with some men. That is the key word that a lot of individuals like to leave out of this particular conversation, is the word some, because it's so much easier just to generalize everyone than to actually focus on those individuals that are really the problem.
And I know that accepting that there is a problem with men and means that if you do care about the state of the world, and if you do care about protecting the women that you say you want to protect, that it might mean you actually have to do something or say something.
And a lot of men, believe it or not, actually do something or say something, but yet they're still just seen as guilty as every other man, because it's all men, right?
Just not being part of the problem doesn't make you part of the solution. So ask yourself, who are you protecting? The brotherhood? What brotherhood are we talking about? Because based on what I'm seeing from all these masculine influencers, they're ready to and eat you at the slightest bit of provocation.
It's almost as if that was an excellent example of the behaviors of some men. Again, they keep leaving out that word.
Men are out here claiming that they want to be protectors of women, but they will not protect women from themselves.
I would almost be willing to bet that someone that I could mention probably considers themselves to be an ardent male feminist. Yet ironically, I'm not seeing how that's the case, because they're not acting in the way in which a true feminist would be. Because feminism, after all, is about equality and equal treatment and fairness. Yet they're tolerating the unfair treatment of an entire population of people, men, based on the actions of some of those members of that group. Not very feminist-minded, is it?
Oh yes, a little known secret about women and their exit strategy. And this is, I'm laughing, but it's not a good thing. Women who want to leave a relationship, and by the way, it's women who file for the divorce way more often than the men do. Just FYI. In fact, with college-educated women, I believe the statistic is about 93% of the time they file for divorce rather than their husbands. So the structure in a girl's brain when she goes into an exit strategy is that she will be long down that road before the guy has any idea, typically. And that's why it's hardly ever women that come home to a house that's been emptied out and a note on the counter that says, I'm leaving you. That's something men go through.
Men are no longer obsessed with women anymore. Do y'all feel that way?
100%.
Why do you think that is?
The reason they not obsessed is because I hate to say it again, and I hate to seem like I'm being judgmental to women when I'm a woman myself, but I feel like social media and there's no mystery. I feel like a lot of things that we as women as a whole that we say that maybe sometimes is just something that we're just putting on social media. It was just a joke. I feel like guys really be turned off by those things. Like they really judging you by the things.
Avoid quotes, right? Like
yeah, like I feel like they're really judging you like by those things.
They watch from afar.
And also like just feeling like it's this pressure of feeling like they gotta take care of you. I wouldn't want to be obsessed with nobody if I feel like as soon as I walk to them, they're gonna be like, my light bill is due.
This episode is for women. I know it's so easy to feel discouraged by all of the unfair that we have to deal with when it comes to double standards, misogyny, power imbalances, all of that. There are hard times in life where obviously I could sit and think this would never happen to a man. If I had a dick, like, would I be further? Would I be treated different? All of it. As women, we are up against the biggest uphill battle. We are not all of the things that a lot of men think we are and want us to be.
Your success comes from having a podcast where every single one of your guests is just someone talking about how much they want to cheat on their husband. You've demonstrated exactly why we're called the land of opportunity, because you used your opportunity to make a podcast for moms who accidentally burned the lasagna on a Sunday night because they were too busy fantasizing about cheating on their husband of 20 years with their Pilates instructor. And that's how you make money. More than 300 times the average man. More than 99% of the globe. So I'm not really understanding this angle that you people like to take as if you're being held down. If anything, I'd say it's quite the opposite. You're doing the bare minimum. So imagine what women who are actually talented could do. But word on the street is she has the most listened to podcast by women in the world. So if you genuinely take advice from people like this, who are the top 0.01% of the world, who are feeding you victimhood because they'll say anything to keep themselves at the top and keep you on depression pills, and they laugh in your face because you fall for it every time. If these are your idols, then maybe you can't handle success anyway.
So a woman is, she was talking about, kind of being desperate in her 30s. Well, people are telling me that I'm being too picky and yada, yada, yada. I get where you're coming from. And you say, well, if it was a man, they would tell the man, you've got to pick and find the right one. Well, even if that's the case, men have a lot more pressure on them a lot of times than a lot of these ladies do, right? Society plus the woman is putting that type of pressure on them. And the man has to make sure that he's up to par. You understand that men can't have bad days. They just can't. Even when, God forbid a man gets sick. God forbid a man gets sick. These modern women look at their man and, well, how do you know that? Because the modern women are online looking and saying, it's just, I don't know. And I understand he has to be sick. I understand that. But it's just something about a man that when he's sick, it just gives me the ick. I just hate it. I don't like it when he does that. Get up, do work. And they start talking about the things that they do. And so a man has to make sure, okay, even if I get sick, I got to guarantee the money, right? It used to be when you got sick as a man, your woman would try to, as much as she could, step up, cover the bills and take care of the kids, even though it is hard. It is a lot. It's a lot. There's no doubt about that. It's a lot. And anybody that has to do that, kudos to you. But, men have to guarantee. No longer is it a partnership or a companionship. Men have to guarantee themselves. they have to guarantee everybody in the family and you know, anybody outside of the family too. And with that type of pressure, you know, yeah, it's going to take me a little bit longer to settle down sometimes.